Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Mumbua, your future CFO. If you're returning, thank you very much. If you come in for the first time, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the place to be. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how we manage our accounts receivables. And we know accounts receivables are reported net of provision, and they are part of the current assets of the organization, which determine the liquidity of the organization, the payment ability of the organization. So our receivables need to be managed very well. We've sold on credit, we need this money to come back to the organization to improve on our liquidity as an organization, to pay our obligations as they fall due. We don't want this money to sit outside for a very long time, because that increases the credit risk of the receivable. So we need the money to come as soon as possible to manage, to increase our liquidity as an organization. So guys, I will be taking you through how to analyze your accounts receivable, how to manage them well, to make sure that as an organization, you're liquid enough. So very fast, guys, we're gonna be going, I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna go through an example. I take you through how you can manage your accounts receivables as an organization. So accounts receivables, we've said they're part of current assets in the balance sheet, and they're reported net of provision. Why do we provide for our receivables? Not all receivables that we've sold that will be paid. Some customers will default, and it's according to IFRS 9. The IFRS gives a guideline on how to do our provisions, depending on the bucket that is sitting on each, the number of days the account receivable has been outstanding. So if you want to like me to talk about IFRS 9 in details, guys, kindly drop a comment on my video, on this video, and I will prepare a different video on how to the requirements of IFRS 9. So very fast, when you look at your account receivables, you're able to know we have $340,000 outstanding sitting outside there. We need this money back as an organization. So what is next as a finance person when you see that figure? The first thing that you need to look at is you need to look at the hedging schedule, the schedule. So the schedule will show you your debtors as an organization and the balances that they have. The current balance and the number of days these receivables have been outstanding. And we say the longer a receivable has been outstanding, has been sitting there, the more riskier it is. So the faster you collect this money back, the better for the organization. You're more liquid as an organization, and also you're reducing your credit risk. So we need this money to come back as soon as possible, depending on our credit terms. So like Malika, we have 79 in the current period, 25 within 1 to 30 days. Then we have 31 days to 60, $2,000, 61 to 90, 1,000. And then we have 90 plus days. So this bucket of 90 plus, this is the riskiest bucket. So we need to make sure that we are following up on these receivables. What are we doing as an organization to make sure that this money is coming back? We have collection officers who are aggressively following on the overdue receivables, because we know the standard number of days is around between 45 and 60 days. But if we can bring this down even further, the better. So anything past 60 days, what are we doing? Are we transferring our receivables maybe to factors? Do we have a team that is aggressively following up on these receivables? So those are some of the things that we need to check as an organization to make sure that you don't have an overdue receivable sitting there. We need to reduce the number of days, and at the same time, we need to aggressively follow and anything past the terms, the credit terms. So the second thing that we need to do as an organization, we need to check on the average collection period. The period it takes from the time we sell to our customer and the period when they pay us back. So that is the average period. How long does it take when we pay to our customers and the time when they pay us back? The other thing is, what is the average accounts receivable? And when I talk about average account receivable, I'm talking about what was our opening balance at the beginning of the period? What is the closing balance at the end of the period? Then you get you add the two, you divide by two to get the average. So as an organization, we need to be striving to improve. We need to be getting better, not getting worse. So we need to compare with maybe a prior period to check if we are getting better. If we are moving towards the wrong direction, what are we doing about it? Because we need to improve all the time. We need to be making sure that we are improving, things are getting better for us to maximize on our returns. So how many days are there in our receivables? How many days does it take from the time we sell to our debtors on credit to the time that they pay? We need to calculate that. And we need to check how many days on average they are taking, and we compare with our policy as an organization. What does our policy say? If we say like our receivables need to be paid within 30 days, we need to make sure that if it's like 35 days, we know there's a problem. Then we work towards our policy. We make sure that we stick by our policy. Another thing, we can check what our competitors are doing. We benchmark ourselves. We also check the industry average in number of days in receivables. Then as an organization, we are able to know if we are doing better than an average firm in the industry. Another way we can manage our accounts receivable is through factoring, where we transfer our accounts receivable to a third party. This is a professional firm, a firm that is basically doing, they are collecting debts on behalf of organization. So we transfer our receivable to a firm that is well equipped, that is, it's more aggressive than us as an organization. They're able to follow up on this receivable to make sure that they are paid in time. But this comes at a cost, guys. The factor is gonna charge us. There's a fee attached to factoring. So you've transferred your receivable to a third party to collect your receivables on your behalf. They're gonna charge you interest. They're gonna charge you collection fees. Yes, they're gonna charge you collection fees. Then the agreement would be like, you give us your receivables, we follow on your behalf. Then we gonna give you like 70% of the receivables, 70% of the value of the receivable. Let's say, for example, if your receivables are like $10,000, we're gonna give you 7,000. 70%. That is what we call factoring. Then they charge you for the service. So that is what we call factoring, guys. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. Thank you for following me all the way to the end. So receivables need to be managed very well. We need to make sure that this money is coming back the soonest possible to improve on our liquidity as an organization. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for staying with me. Be blessed. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, tell me what you want to hear me talk about in my future videos. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.